hello.
Hi.
First of all, I have to tell you a fun story. When just we arrived with my son, he told me, I want to go to the Egyptian pavilion. And I said, why just the Egyptian pavilion? He told, because 2 years ago there were huge boobs hanging from the ceiling, so he wanted to just find out he still was there. And then we found your work, and it was just astonishing. So first question is about the way you tell among tales and fiction and documentary. You use a kind of universal language. So can you tell us more about that?
The idea about this project started almost about maybe 6-7 months ago, when I was officially invited actually to present Egypt. And I thought it's very important to try to make something very significant in the modern history of Egypt and the relationship between the British colony and what is really happening today in the world. So I always loved the idea of trying to grab a certain transitional moment from history and to try to translate it into a new readable format. This time I was really fascinated by a story that happened right before the occupation of Egypt. The British occupation of Egypt happened in 1882, and the incident that happened before this is that there was a donkey man. Actually, a donkey man is someone that is transporting people from one place to another place, so using his donkey. So supposedly in Alexandria, someone from Malta went to inside the British consulate, and in his way out, he stopped one of these donkey mans, and he asked him to transport him to another place, another district in the city of Alexandria. He went to different places around the city, stopped in many bars, and in the end it seems that there was a fight between them because of the fee, and this fight ended up with the Maltese man stabbing the Egyptian donkey man. Because of this killing, a big fight happened in the street of Alexandria between Egyptians and foreigners. Foreigners back then were British, French, Italians, Greeks, and many of the British, the subjects of the British Empire. And in that case, because of this fight, let's say that Britain said that we need to protect our subjects in Egypt, and that was the real excuse for them to attack Alexandria first, then entering Cairo, and then occupying Egypt for 70 years. Many scholars believe that this incident was already staged, and it was already prepared by the British consulate in Alexandria, and that's why I thought it's very amazing to try to make this type of history, this part of history, as a staged performance. So you put it on the theater, and then after that you film it in a cinematic way.
Why you choose real people? Because usually you use puppet. I mean, for instance, in the other exhibition, puppet were the central part of the tales.
Yes. Well, this time I feel it's an important challenge, and also it's sort of a shift in my career, that I thought it's very important to make something a bit more significant, which is whenever I worked before with kids or marionettes or puppets or even people with masks, it was always a way to erase and avoid drama and avoid also the acting skills, so people can really concentrate more on the topic, on the story, on the music, and to make sort of analysis without depending on the skills of the actor. This time I thought, no, I would work with adults without masks, without anything, but I will make the masks, the adults perform as marionettes. Basically, it's the opposite. And in that case, there are no expressions on their faces. But all the expressions are coming from their body language, coming from the choreography itself, how they move in slow motion, in groups sometimes, in solo movements sometimes, and creating these types of different movement that it seems like people are more like hypnotized. Basically, I think that was a way even to try to make the story maybe connected more to the idea of the theater, and at the same time I decided even to just to make it even more shift is to call it drama, and instead of erasing drama, in fact it is drama. And drama in that case, it refers to something also very important. That it's like sometimes it can refer to catastrophe, and sometimes it can refer also to theater, and it can refer also to something exaggeration or fake. And I like this a lot, the idea of trying to make the history in a way of analysis that it's not really only telling facts, because it's not about facts, it's a human creation. So between facts and myth, the gap in between, that it has a lot of doubt and something not really we're not certain of. I believe this is where creativity exists, and where analysis exists. So I believe this is the way that I like more to work with history. And in that case, when we make this analysis, also we're able to connect it to our present, what is happening today in the world.
Also, it's really inclusive because it involves also young people as old people, and that's the best part in my opinion. But what about your you are a multimedia artist, so how did you integrate it this special occasion, sculpture, and on all the other media?
Always try to work with different mediums in my exhibitions: drawing, sculpture, music, films, each medium has its own limitations and its own accessibility. And I always like the idea that you try to understand the same topic but from different angles, from different point of views. And the idea that each medium, for example, what you can reach with drawings, you cannot reach with a film. What you can reach with a film, you cannot reach with a sculpture. You need to feel you need to sense the soil, the mud that you have in this, for example, in this big sculpture, and the chemical content of the material itself can tell you something that you need it, that it cannot be replaced with the film as a medium, though a film has more dimensions, but still for me it's more important to try to grab the same content through different types of mediums.
What it means today being foreigners, it has any kind of meanings?
That is also exactly what I was trying to make from this film, because when we hear the word foreigner today, the word foreigner in Europe means something not exactly the same when you have this foreigner in Egypt, for example. And in 1882, for example, foreigners were not immigrants that came with boats from their poor countries. They were actually British, they were French, they were coming to live in Egypt, and after that, the word foreigners became the occupiers even. So it's the idea of how occupiers are foreigners one day, and now the foreigners means something completely different. And I think that was also referred to in the film.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Shawky.
you so much.